Hi everyone, welcome to CERISEFAIRFAX.com. I'm here today with a very special guest, Elle Seon.
Hi.
Now I asked Elle to come on to the show because number one, I respect her and I just really get this very good energy from her and her creativity, and I wanted to share it with you guys. But also some very exciting news. Elle has written a book. Can I say this?
Of course.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to actually bring it up close a little bit right here so you guys can see it. And then what I'm going to do is take a picture of it later and put online where you guys can purchase it, because I know you're going to want to get a copy. And also, I want you guys to visit Elle's website.
It's www.eloquent.com.
Really?
Play off my name.
Yeah. Eloquently Yours. Isn't that beautiful? And I really love the ballet here.
Yeah, we went through about 12 cover designs to get to this finally, but for some reason it stuck in my head as something that's very elegant and sophisticated, and I really wanted to bring that to it. So,
why did you pick the ballet?
I don't know. For some reason it was just something that drew me to it. Like, I've always had a passion for arts and creativity and that type of thing, and to me that's what ballerinas and the ballet embodies. Like, I just think it's so beautiful and so pure, and yet they have so much strength because of their training and what they do, and it's such a nice art form that a lot of people don't appreciate. But yeah,
that's true. That's true. I like what you said about strength.
Yeah.
And strength and dedication. Right?
Oh, of course.
And it shows dedication to your art, dedication to what you're good at,
yeah,
and determination. For me, it represents class as well.
Yes.
And oh, that's exactly what I pick up around you too. Yeah. Like, you have that classy aura. Hey, people. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what's in this book and why you decided to write the book and, you know, share it with everyone.
So I've been writing for years upon years. At first it was just very cathartic for me. It was something that I would do just on a personal level. So any, you know, hardships I was going through, I would journal about it and write about it and write poetry about it. And then I started realizing that this was a career that I wanted to get into. So I wanted to write full time, because I'd realized that the poetry would turn into short stories, and the short stories had progressed into novels, and it was all a very natural progression. And so that's what I did. So what I realized when I was going through my poems now was that they were all either about love or life experiences.
Interesting.
And then I guess that just goes to show you what I was going through at the time when I was writing. So,
yeah. And you're sharing your heart and your soul.
Oh, of course. I think poetry is such a personal way to share yourself with the world. Because when you're writing fiction, you know, you're totally immersing the reader into something else. When it's poetry, you're giving them every single thing that you have, and you're putting it all there on the table for them to see. So it's very personal, but I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it.
Nice. So your blind ambition really turned into something that was not necessarily a hobby any longer, but now a life career.
Exactly.
Wow, I really love that. And you know what they say about hobbies and stuff of that nature? Those are the best businesses.
It's true. It's true. They say if you would do it without getting paid, then it's what you should be doing in real life. And that's how I felt about writing. Like, I would write anything at any time, and I would do it for free just because I love doing it. So why not turn it into a full-time career?
Nice. Good. Now, I thought you had self-published, and you were telling me you didn't.
I didn't know. Getting published was such a hard process. I had mailed manuscripts to publishers, to magazines. I was trying to get my work out there, and I did this for probably about 2 years.
Wow.
And what I found in doing that was that a lot of publishers don't take poetry.
Really?
And if they do, it's very specific poetry that they want, and a very specific type of poetry. So you don't really have that freedom to express yourself, and I didn't want my creativity to be closeted because I wanted to get published.
Right, of course.
So I ended up coming across an American author called Charles Burgess. And in talking with him, he put me on to these publishers,
Nice.
this AZ Publishing House, and that's in Arizona, and there
they,
we are.
Wow. Wow. And did they help you like with the cover and everything? Or
Yes, we went through
Really?
everything together, step by step. They're a smaller publishing house, but
Mhm.
that's what I like, is I still had my creative freedom to say, I don't like this, I do like this is how I want my cover to look.
Right.
And they helped along the way with everything, so that I got a full understanding of what was going on, as well as still having that creative control over my project.
Yeah, and also, oh, there's a nice picture here too. And also it shows like your personality as well on when you have that freedom.
Yes.
You know, it shows the personality throughout the book and also inside, especially if it has to do with poetry, like
Exactly.
you said, something so personal.
Exactly.
And now you are also going to be helping authors
Yes.
as well. Tell us about that.
So when I first started writing, I started writing like blogs on my website explaining my process that I was going through and the stress of trying to find a publisher and them not understanding or taking 6 months to get back to you, and it was a lot of waiting. And in doing so, I found that there were a lot of people who were going through the same thing, where they wanted to get published, but they just weren't sure how to do it. And they were very frustrated with that, just as I was when I was going through it. And so with doing that, I started doing consultations with them, started showing them how to market themselves, how to market the book, how to go through the publishing process. I found a lot of them were paying large amounts of money to self-publish.
Yes.
And so with doing that, I thought, I'm going to create a small indie publishing house up here in Canada, where I can get the same kind of service that I got with my book over like in the States, but bring it right here, so I can help authors that are up here as well.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
and that's important because I know a lot of you will be watching this who are authors and, you know, writers, and you will gain that obviously inspiration that you need to become an author that is actually published, but also to take your ideas and put it into print and then have it published.
Yeah.
Especially up in Canada too, where the industry is a little bit more caged in, right?
Very much so. I found it was almost like the music industry up here, you know, where if you haven't crossed that barrier and you're not successful yet, it's very hard to get people to recognize you and your work. And it's, you know, sometimes you just need that little push. So if we can get authors and get their books published, and then they can go on to bigger publishing houses, by all means, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and I like the way you compare it to the music industry, because I have heard that Canadians are so hard on music artists up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
And we have so much talent up here, so much talent, and it's just, it's almost seems like they're roadblocked all the time, and I don't think that's very fair.
Now, what if an American is watching this, because it is on YouTube and I have a lot of American viewers, what if they want to break into the Canadian market? Would you be able to help them with that?
Absolutely. We one of the things that we're creating a niche in is the digital market, because it's not very big up here. So we're definitely opening that option to our American consumers, or if they want to get published, especially if it's ebook, or they want to break into the Canadian market, or we can help them with that as well.
Wow, that's awesome, because a lot of the Americans, they feel like they're just one little fish in a huge ocean there.
Yes.
And they realize that Canada is very untapped.
Oh, yes.
Right? And they're like, yeah, I want to get to Canada, even with filming and producing and stuff of that nature, right?
Yeah.
So same thing goes for writing. When you are an American and you're trying to get up in Canada, contact Elle, because she does have experience, obviously, bringing out her own book and also knowing the process. And you will help these people. I feel it from you. Like your energy, you just got this passion.
I love it. There's nothing more fulfilling, I feel like. As much as I love putting out my own work, it's so much more fulfilling, I feel, to help others and see them, how proud they are when, you know, they have their signings and they have people come to their signings, that type of thing. I love seeing that.
The universe is a mirror, right? And then when you put it out, you get it back. Tell me about signings now. You've had a few of your own signings.
I've done, yes.
What are those like?
It's a bit overwhelming at first, just because before I started like performing and doing poetry and like being out in the public, I was very shy. So for me to like be there and meet and greet, and I always didn't want to promote myself, because I always felt like it was being, you know, pompous or whatever.
Really?
Yes. But now I realize that you need to, like, I'll walk up to a
Right.
stranger, you know, who's in a bookstore and be like, hey, did you know my book's here? You know,
Really?
you can get it. And
Good for
I
you.
find people tend to put, once they recognize you, and, you know, they're more likely to buy your book.
Yes.
And so I think that's where the branding and marketing comes into play.
Definitely, definitely. I'm so for self-promotion.
Yes.
You know,
I've learned it's a good thing.
It is, and there's no such thing as putting yourself out there in a bad way if you do it in a good way, right?
Absolutely.
You know, I had this friend say to me that about another person, oh my gosh, this person puts so much pictures of themselves on Facebook. And I'm like, but that's what Facebook is about. It's an online album.
Yeah.
It's to put your face out there and say, this is who I am, this is what I do,
Yeah.
and, you know, enjoy life with me on this journey.
Yeah.
Right? And what you're not saying, hey, look at me. What you're saying is, hey, this is what
I
I'm
have
doing.
going on. Yeah.
Right. This is what I'm accomplishing. And again, life is a mirror. And when people see that you are putting a book together,
Yeah.
right away they're like, wow, she did that. You know, that's my dream too. And I want to ask her how she did it. How are they going to know if you don't put it out there?
It's so true. And I think a lot of people are scared to ask for help. Just because, you know, they find it might make them look unprofessional or whatever the case may be. But I would not know anything if I didn't ask for help. And so I feel like I shouldn't take that information with me to my grave. That's information I should be sharing so that other people can benefit off it as well. So I think it's important to share that.
Definitely. I truly believe that as well. And the fact that you're doing that, you will prosper so much more as well. Because people will be like, oh, I got the help from, you know, Elle, just like how you're saying you got the help from that other author.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, and then it's just passing on information and
it's so true.
yeah, and really how do we become more wealthier and more healthier is by sharing the information, because again, it always comes back. And so, again, people, is there anything you want to tell them about yourself or about your experiences writing this book? And, oh wait, before we even go there, Elle has 2 more books that she's working on. Yeah, tell us about those.
So, how many years? I think it was probably about 35 years ago. My aunt was murdered in Trinidad by her common law husband, and so when I found out about that story, it really inspired me to write more. I'd like to base my next story on that. So my next novel coming out will be a fiction novel, and it's based loosely upon my dad's relationship with my aunt and her murder. And then after that, coming up for our Christmas release is going to be my young adult novel, which my daughter helped me write. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's
nice.
Really nice.
Yeah.
So when is the murder novel coming out?
So the adult fiction one will be out end of August.
Wow, okay.
And then the youth one will be out in November.
Very nice. So you're releasing these books at a nice pace.
Well, the adult one was supposed to come out in June, but we ran into a little bit of problems with it, so we said it's okay, we'll get it out at the end of August, and then that way, so there's something for the adults and there's something for the kids as well.
Very nice. And when you do run into problems, I feel it's very important to say, you know what, this is for a reason. Yeah, it's okay. More people will read it at the end of August.
It's true.
For a reason.
It's very true.
Yeah.